It's Tuesday, right here on the sit on the morning this side, 7 o'clock. We get to take on tips and etiquette and join us live in the studios. You'll have our guide, Kenley Esson. Good to have you with us, Kenley.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Great to be here. Ekuche.
Yeah, Ekuche for you.
Somebody heard me. I was speaking to somebody in the course of the week, and I think I was trying to make reference to a particular native language, a mother tongue, from where I come from. And the person, they were just looking at me like, you mean really? You mean? So, boy, forget all the grammar. I mean, down to the earth, man. Like they would say, the son of the soil. As in, Wow, thank you very much for having me. Good morning, everyone, and good to be here again. Very quickly, we'll be looking at what I've titled conflict resolutions. Conflict resolutions, and of course, one fact that we would first of all establish is that conflict is an everyday thing, and it's a fact of life. It's an everyday thing. It's a fact of life. Some people are taking themselves to the court. Some persons are trying to get to a family person to solve one problem or the other. Somebody is trying to place a call to say, look, tell this person or warn this person or say something to this person. Somebody is trying to send a text message. Can't you just please talk to this person for me? One way or the other, it's just a fact of life. And once you understand it as a fact of life, it becomes much easier to resolve or to sort or to manage properly. And so, first of all, we will make definition or take definitions of what conflict really is. And then, of course, what conflict is. It simply means dispute, disagreement. Dispute or disagreement, that's conflict. There's no if you going saying that having a fight or a physical fight is conflict, that's by extension you've gone far. You know what I mean? The moment somebody say, no, I said it this way, this was what I said, that was not, no, this was what I was saying, that the moment the argument begins to heat up, it has become a conflict. Then at that point, somebody has to say, okay, I understand you, or I now say that, no, I will not agree, and now it could develop into something else. But then we understand that conflict simply means disputes. So any form it takes, whether in verbal form or physical, you go physical, or whatever form it takes. You could even be in conflict with somebody over the social media, over phone. So you don't even have to see somebody to be in conflict with him. Oh, that person, if I get a hold of him. Yeah, the person is not here. You can't even see the person. But in your mind, you are like, I'm in a group, and then I was seeing, I'm just a silent underground observer in the group. So I didn't respond to anything. I just watched. And I was watching your two young guys, talking to themselves. The day I come to that your town, when there's supposed to be an association where there is a month or yearly meeting. And so the guy was saying, when the next time there's a meeting, I will make sure I attend. I could not attend the last one, but because of you this time, I will attend, and I want to fight you. Can you imagine? And the meeting is going to be some like 6 months away or
really? And somebody will handle that?
Yes, he's ready to do that. So you understand that conflict is not just a thing of, we got into a fight and then we started like that. But then somebody could keep it up or hold on to it for so long and saying that until people started saying, look, why don't you just stop it, cut it now, and then and then of course the guest insisted that when I see you, I'm going to do this to you, I'm going to do that to you. And so that's conflict. That's conflict. So you see that even over the hair, even in the hair, you still have conflicts where you're just sending words via phone, text messages. You're saying there's a way your language sounds when you send a message to somebody that the person knows that this person is angry. This person is angry, or this person is is not in good terms with me. Or they say, oh, Mr. Kunle, the way you're not sounding friendly anymore. So it's like that. There's a way you sound that makes the other party know that you are having there is already a conflict in that place. So it is important that we understand what disagreements is, conflicts really are, so that you'll be able to manage them properly. So what is conflict resolution? To resolve something means to sort it, to get a solution to something, to be on a round table concerning a matter and resolve it, to dissolve a solid matter. You understand? To break it down, break it into particles whereby, it could be resolved. So conflict resolution simply means that neutral ground where two or more parties find a peaceful solution to a disagreement among them. And I'll take that again. A conflict resolution simply means in that neutral ground. It means that neutral ground where two or more parties who are involved or who are engaged in disagreement finds a peaceful solution. Find a peaceful solution. That's conflict resolution. And that brings us to our first key point. And the first key point is that it takes at least two to tango. At least two to tango. At least. That means you could be more. And so it takes at least two to tango. It must involve at least two persons. It must involve at least two persons. You can't be fighting yourself. If you see a man on the street or somewhere suddenly beating up himself, you know what to do. I mean, there are issues, you understand. So that one is no more conflict. Now is no more conflict. So
it could actually be conflict. So it's not the interpersonal. Not the interpersonal, intrap.
Because of course that's gone beyond the normal thing. It's not normal for someone to be fighting. And I mean, when you go physical with yourself and then you begin to tell yourself, and then of course that requires some other persons to attend to such a person. So it takes at least two to be involved in a conflict. So before you say something is a conflict, and that's why you can get into a place. I remember my mom used to tell us, he said those days, he said, I know when your dad is angry. I said, how do you know? He said, I smell him. He said, I can smell him when he's angry. So whenever he's coming from work, like a woman who will want to, welcomes her husband, he said the moment he opens the door for him, he says, so who got you angry in the office today? Straight away, you understand? So that he now laughs, you understand? And then he begins to break down, begins to break the whole thing down. You don't that means that this person, and that's the way they now get to talk about it. And so it's important. You discover that you can look at somebody and know that this basically there's something wrong. Who are you? Who you and who? You understand? The question arises like, who are you? You and who? Who are you fighting with? And why are you, behaving the way you're behaving? So it takes at least two to have a conflict. It takes at least two to have a conflict. So for you, let me say that in another form. For you to say it's a conflict, then at least two persons must be involved. So that means that it could be more than two, and the number has no limit. The number of people that could be involved has no limit. Of course, when we begin to talk about the sources of conflict, you discover that we could have many people involved, many persons involved. Number one source of conflict could be finance. And that causes a lot of conflicts, even in marriages and even in business, the business world. You understand? So it's just like that. It causes a lot of conflicts amongst friends. You understand? These people are very, very close, and then money, but that does not mean that finances cannot still be in between friends and then they still maintain peace. That does not, so that they say that money causes, but does not mean that finance cannot still be in between friends. There are people who have been friends for years and they've been running businesses together, and yet they are still fine. They are still good friends. They are still doing very well. Nobody is arguing with the other person. This is your percentage, that's my percentage, and they're just contented with it. And so finances could be a source of conflict. Finances could be a source of conflict. And as we talk about the source, I want you to keep it in your mind so that you will know when we're beginning to deal with the real issue. What are the steps to resolving conflict? So finances could be a source. That means if finances is a source, when you are dealing with money, you need to be very careful. That's what it also means. When you're dealing with money, you have to deal with somebody with money. You have to do business with somebody. You must be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. Make sure your integrity, you're being faithful, you understand, in dealings when it comes to money. And then, so now some persons just do it with some money so that there is no argument, so that there is no problem, so that they don't have conflicts. Some persons have left monies for friends because they just felt that, look, I don't want anything to, get in between us, so that, you understand, so they leave it alone. So money could be a source. And politics Politics could be a source. Politics. So this person belongs to party A, this person belongs to party B, and that person belongs to party C. And then party A did something, why party B, supported party A, party C is indifferent about what the two of them have done, and then they come against them, and then it causes a lot of trouble. So there could be conflicts. You understand? And also another source of conflict is personality difference. Difference in personality. And this is very, very important. Some persons are making some other persons angry with their personalities. Your personality. Getting people angry with your personality. So you've got to check yourself properly. Getting people angry with your personality. You do not have that very good. You are pushing out negative
could
aura.
Yes. Could that be an intentional thing? Like, would someone just want to wake up and today my plan for today is to upset?
Most of the time it's not intentional.
Okay.
Most of the time it's not intentional, but then that means that thing had come to become probably a habit in that person, and the person has not been conscious about it. And the truth is, apart from the fact that it will be causing conflict, it pushes good things away from such person. You understand? Some people don't just want to relate with you. Things that would have drawn somebody to you will not. People are just pushed away by your attitudes, by your behavior. That's where character comes in. So your personality could be a conflict, could create a conflict zone around you. Oh, we don't know if we talk to him now. The way he's always looking, he's so proud. You understand? He's so proud, whereas he's not proud. He just has that way of doing his things that he is not careful about doing it that way. Because even if you have a way of carrying yourself, there's a way we carry ourselves and make people to feel like, is he proud? Once you know that if I carry myself in this way, it could send a negative message, to the person, to the onlooker, somebody is outside there. There's a way you balance it up. There's a way you balance it up. For instance, I get into a place. One of the ways to break the silence is good morning, everyone. Do you understand? That makes somebody feel like, okay, I think we can talk to this one. Do you understand? But if you just enter a place and you just look morose, you understand? You're just looking, you just get a seat and you just sit down, and you're not saying hello to somebody, you're not even talking to somebody, you just pick up your phone or you're pressing your phone, you're chatting with somebody, and then you're looking at everybody, some person just sitting and just looking at it. What's wrong with him? Or what's wrong with her? Who is she? You understand? And you begin to create that conflict, and you might just be unfortunate that you are going to have a group. You understand? There's something that you're supposed to do, you're going to have a group, and then they now put you in between them. You now begin to see attacks coming to you. You understand? So somehow your personality must be in place so that you do not create conflict zones around you. It will affect you. It will affect your the inflow of finances to you in a way. Businesses probably will not come to you direct, as it were, because people will not find it easy coming to you. I've spoken with somebody over the phone. Somebody saw our handbill somewhere and called me. And as soon as I picked the phone, hello, good morning, sir. And then, good morning, but because I didn't know who the fellow was. And so once he started talking, I began to respond. And then when we now eventually met, the man came to Osogbo all the way from Ilesha. He came twice to see me here in Osogbo. At the point I said, sir, you don't have to come, just talk to me over the phone. And he said, no, I have to come, I have to show you these things, we have to see these things together. And at the point he said the first time I called you, we had never met, but the first time I called you, I just knew we would do business together. That was all. And he didn't talk to anybody about the matter again. He didn't have to discuss the business with somebody else again, because he just felt that I found solace in this person from the way I responded to him over the phone. So very, very important, the environment that you create around yourself based on your personality. And also the opinions from third parties could create conflicts. Opinions from third parties could create conflicts. Opinions from third parties. Oh, if that person said that, they said that, he now said that, they now said that. Be very careful. Third parties, for instance, third parties have pushed a lot of marriages apart. Third parties, you understand? They push a lot of marriages apart. The woman was the one that said this, she now said this about you. The man was the one that said this and now said, and then, they not having the right, the understanding of management of conflicts. Everybody just goes his own way and then everything is scattered. Only for you to later discover that. I once had, a couple, the man was leaving the house in the morning and was trying to say something to the wife, and the wife was coming out from one other direction. And then so the man left for work. and came back. When he was at work, I think he found something like this, about conflict management, and then he got to start talking to himself that what was really the problem? What did I say that was wrong? And then he discovered that they were both saying the same thing. She was only saying from another perspective. He was only saying from another perspective, and that was all. So he got back home and said, "Honey, do you know that what I was actually telling you? This is what I was actually telling you. That's what I was telling you too." You understand? So sometimes listening. A listening ear might just be all you need to resolve the conflict around you. A listening ear.
Not always either my way or the highway.
Or the highway. No. So a listening ear might just be all you need. You also need some resolution skills. You need some skills for you to be able to resolve conflict. You need some skills. And so to successfully resolve conflict, it depends on your ability, number one, to manage stress quickly while remaining calm and alert. Your ability to resolve stress. Is a skill that you need to resolve conflict. Your ability to resolve stress. Stress had made, people can make someone want to misbehave. You just stress. The person is just stressed out. You greet somebody and they think, "Oh, I've answered you," or somebody does not even answer you. You understand? He is stressed up or she is stressed up. You must understand that. So for you to be able to resolve conflicts, you must be able to resolve or manage your stress quickly while remaining calm and alert. You must also be able to control your emotions and behaviors. You must be able to control your emotions. So for you to be able to resolve conflict, you must be able to control your emotions and also your behaviors, and also pay attention to the feelings or spoken words being expressed by the other party. Pay attention to what the person is saying. Give a listening ear to what the person is saying. The person might not be the first to keep quiet. You might need to be the one to keep quiet and listen.
It takes two to tango. It takes one person.
One person.
To just go, okay, can we
just resolve this matter? What's the problem? And so you must be able to pay attention. These are all skills that you must have for you to be able to resolve conflict. And finally, another skill is that you must be aware and respect differences. Aware and respect the differences in people. People are different. Persons are different. We are all different. You must understand that and you must appreciate it. You must respect it. What I like is not what Dami likes. It's not everything Dami likes. And what Dami likes is not everything I like. She likes to eat this. I like to eat this other thing. My wife loves this other person. I mean, it's important that we understand that we all have differences, and once you know that, you are able to resolve your conflicts. And very quickly, what are the 5 steps to resolving conflicts? The 5 steps to resolving conflicts. I'll drop that in a minute. 5 steps to resolving conflicts. Number 1, identify the source of the conflict. Aim at the roots. Identify the source. Identify the source of the conflict. You're going to quench fire. You must aim at the roots. The source. Identify the source of the conflict. Is it money? Is it politics? What is it? What is the source? What is causing the conflict? Identify the source of the conflict. Number 2, look beyond the incident. Look beyond the incident. And for this, I will say that often it is not the situation, but the perspective on the situation that causes anger to fester and ultimately lead to a shouting match or other visible or disruptive evidences of a conflict. And what that simply means is that you must be able to look beyond what is happening. Why is this person angry? She's not always like this. You are just being able to look beyond the incident. What is happening? What has just happened? You are able to look beyond it. Number 3, request a solution. Talk to the person that you're having a conflict with. Can we resolve this matter? Can we resolve this? Number 4, identify solutions that both of you must identify solutions. I think we should do this. You say your own, we say, then we both put it on the table and then we resolve the matter. Finally, we agree that the matter is resolved. We agree that the matter is resolved. Conclusively, conflict is a fact of life. We must know that conflict is a fact of life and can arise in almost any sphere of life, from organizations through personal relationships. And so learning to resolve it amicably without increasing your stress level is important for everyone. Wow. Well, our time is gone. Next week, before we go on to the next one, I'll just give you some little other things that I did not mention now before we go on to what we have next week. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Have a very great week.
We definitely will. Thank you as well. Thank you indeed. And two wrongs, they say, don't make
it
a
right.
right.
Yeah.
And dialogue, we can always go to the table, sit round about the table, and see how we can resolve things. Not like like they will say in Yoruba, you know, you don't like, okay, literally a fowl, a mother hen comes, and maybe you were trying to prepare a concoction for someone who is sick, and then the you know the way they scatter things now, comes and scatters it, and then you're like, who's foul? Yeah. Then you go to where it's trying to hatch his eggs, and then you break all of its eggs, and then you kill the fowl. And if you are too angry to eat it, you dispose it. But basically, there could have been a reason this person did this, and even if there is no reason, at least just calm down and try to ask the person. Honestly, these things are not easy, but it pays off. In the end, it pays off in the end. Because I'm just wondering, someone who keeps something for 6 months.
I tell you.
Even 1 hour, my head. Okay, and now that doesn't mean you should look out for someone who always wants peace, and then you abuse it. You take the person for granted. You show the person pepper. People have what we call their limits ends. Their elastic limits.
Yes.
Where they just get to breaking point and they'll just snap. So don't always keep piling and piling and piling, because they will always take it. They don't always talk. They are always quiet. The fact that the tiger is sneaking doesn't
not mean
mean
that it's afraid. Truth.